This is Fyke, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather, and as always, I bring you guys awesome interviews. Today, it is an honor and privilege to have the band Fyke on the line with me right now. They have a new album that's out right now called Nightmares. This is the Deluxe edition, so we're going to be talking about that and more about the band and everything like that. So, guys, if you don't mind, please introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, my name's Enoch. I'm the vocalist.
Hi, I'm Mikey. I play bass. I'm Gerard. I play drums.
I'm Justin. I play guitar. I'm Steven. I play guitar.
Glad to have you on here.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
What's impressed you guys the most about making the new album, Nightmares? What's caught your eye about, if anything, guys?
I think just being able to write an album that's bigger than ourselves. We wrote this album to spread like a positive message to really address, current social issues that I think a lot of musicians that have the power to speak about it don't really do it, because it's the music business. People try to sell records more than anything else. So I think for us, the thing that really stood out, at least made us feel, was there something that contributed back to society rather than just kind of filling pockets with, if you can make money with music, but it filled us with happiness.
Yeah, I would have to agree too. I think like what we're trying to spread, is like a positive message. Is what I really think this band is about, and I just hope that more people like look into the lyrics and kind of see what Nightmares is really about.
Mikey?
Yeah, I mean it's just pretty cool to be in a group of these four other guys that have their heads like level-headed and never straying away from the path and from the main goal, and that's just to spread love and positivity in the world right now that not a lot of people are doing that. So
I was like, every answer is going to probably be along that lines.
Writing this album, Enoch, did it let you let everything go and express yourself the way that you wanted the album to come out to?
I think so. We produced and recorded our own album, so I think that gave us a little bit more freedom to, do things that we wanted to do the way that we wanted to do it. Did it do it completely? No, I think our story's not over. And I don't know how many albums it's going to take to really express everything that we would like to say. But I think we're pretty happy with the way Nightmares came out. I wish Nightmares could have been more, but instead of continuing the album, I think we'll just write a new one.
Now, you talked about you guys did this on your own. Do you like having the advantage of doing it when you want to, or would you eventually want to have a producer other than yourself working on an album like this?
For right now, I think we're pretty content just working on our own. These days, there's no reason why you can't record and, produce your own record. I mean, with technology out there like that's available today. Of course, I mean, we all come from bigger, bands that were signed before, and we've done the touring route, and we've worked with, plenty of really big producers. And so it's not like that we didn't have access to that route. We just, like I said, there's a little bit more of a freedom when you do it on your own. I'm not saying it's bad to work with another producer. I think right now we're still, I think we're just still growing in that sense. We just want to keep on going down that path on our own. Does that make sense?
How long did it take you guys to record this album? We
started writing bits and pieces of it actually like before the band was really, really formed. Me and Steve, we were writing kind of demos, like putting ideas down. But in between that time, I was back and forth in Korea. I was in a K-pop group performing out there in Korea for about a year. But during the height of that, I really felt that, for me, I'm a religious person. I just felt that like God had bigger intentions for me to use music in a positive way. So I came home and I decided that I was going to do Fyke full time. And at that point, we just sat down and we really just grinded it out. And it wasn't long. I think we had most of the album done within probably a month.
This is a question for everybody here. How was working with Enoch as a producer versus him as just the band member? Did he push you guys to Go the extra level?
Oh no.
He doesn't feel like we got to put Enoch out of the room first answer.
Yeah. No, honestly, like for me, it was pretty cool just because, you know, people set their own limits for themselves. And Enoch, I feel like he really brought out the best in me when I was recording vocals. So I thought, you know, he really helped me actually become a better singer just from him being, you know, honest and, you know, pushing me to my limits that I thought I could only go so far. So that was cool.
He doesn't really feel like a producer to me. He feels more like a band member. It's more like a team effort.
Yeah, I would have to agree, but I also think like he's like super efficient in what he does, and like he you know, he makes sure that we're like, you know, we're on task and we're getting like everything done like exactly like how we need to, pretty much.
I know these are like your guys' favorite collectibles, your favorite kids, whatever, but are there any songs off the Nightmares album that stand out more to each of you on it possibly, or can you pick any at all?
I think Insecure is probably one of the stronger resonating songs to me personally. I don't know about everyone else.
For me, Vices, I could really relate to. That's probably also one of my favorite songs to play live just because it's more like a ballad feel, and it's just, ooh, I get those every time we play it.
Unless I sing like crap.
Oh yeah, I think it's like live. It definitely has like some type of like, it makes you some type of way, you know. But I would say that for me, Insecure.
How much growth musically, guys, have you seen yourself go through and this band go through since the formation of this group, or has it been just more of a personal growth for each of you guys?
I think it's both. It's tremendous in all ways. I mean, like for us, I don't think we ever stop growing. We're constantly learning. We're constantly making mistakes, constantly figuring out, you know, which path to take. Even some decisions that we made that were like the right decisions weren't the right decisions later on, you know, like variants keep on coming up. There's a lot of personal growth, obviously, to it. But I don't know. We have like a super unique situation. Like, you know, we've been in other bands before, and we've watched those bands kind of fall apart with each people at, you know, a band is like a marriage, right? You like, and you know, every band I've been in has fought and yelled at each other, but this band is different. Like, you know, we spend more time encouraging one another, helping each other grow. You know, it's more like a family than anything else. And if this music didn't do anything for anybody else, I think as like for our group, it's just kind of more like I think it holds us together. It's like a healing thing for us on our own.
Yeah, I'd say that. I'd agree. Even for me personally, on a personal level, it's really helped me stay really calm in like a lot of situations where I would usually, you know, freak out. But it's like I said, it's cool to have guys that, you know, understand that life goes on, and, you know, we all go through things. So it's cool. Like Enoch said, that, you know, we're always just here to encourage one another than rather like, you know, mess around and, you know, just do other things.
For each of you, do you do anything differently to help keep your mind fresh and open during the writing and recording process to not let the music get stale? Because I know sometimes it gets boring, but you got to kick it up a notch. But what do you guys do, if anything?
Well, I don't think you're ever going to run out of inspiration because we live in America.
That's true. That's true.
But I think constantly keeping our ears fresh and listening to what's out there is important. It helps us stay in tune with what's actually relevant. So, you know, we have this instant messenger, group instant messenger that we're constantly talking to ourselves in each day. And like someone's always throwing some new music in there or things that inspire us or stuff. We're all sharing our daily, you know, problems or funny things. Like, I think,
sorry, live journal.
Yeah. It's just, I think communicating constantly, it keeps us fresh that way.
Accountability partners.
Yeah. What about you, Justin? You haven't said anything.
In writing music?
Yeah.
We don't live in the jungles of Africa, so we're pretty inspired in America. But yeah, it is a matter of just
Browsersville.
Yeah. We're always keeping up with new music, but we always have our own inspirations that kind of are the core of our sound. So, yeah, we're pretty open.
What can fans expect at a show from Fyke who've not got to see you guys live as of yet?
I think we perform better than... Actually, you know what? I take everything back.
We try really hard.
We try really, really, really hard.
You can expect a lot of hair in our faces and a lot of sweat.
concentration.
For sure. And a lot of maybe funny faces while we play, for sure.
But on the real, I think we really try to deliver a show that's better than our album. We try. Keyword try.
We know it's the digital era of recording albums and plus social media. Do you like this that we're in right now of recording albums to get music out quicker plus social media to allow you to get out to more fans these days? Do you guys like this?
Yes and no. You know, with social media now, like, you have a whole bunch of other problems that you know, people, you're in an age where people are addicted to social media. It's like ADD. Like, there's the attention, there's nothing holding their attention. They're always, it's like onto one thing, then onto the next. So even though you can get your music in the hands of way more people than you could before, people's attention span is much shorter. So keeping their attention span requires you to work way harder and constantly, like, it keeps you on your toes because you have to constantly figure out new ways to be innovative. Yes, you know, with the digital age, you can release music faster. We can film our own music videos. We can do things that we could never do when we were growing up. But, and it's probably cheaper and more affordable. But, like, with that said, like, everybody's doing the same thing that you are. And so just because you can make a music video now that looks like a film, well, so can your next door neighbor. And the competition has grown, like, way more fierce. So in the sense that, you know, you feel that, like, well, there's all this opportunity now, more people have jumped in that pool. So now you're in a small pool with a bunch of sharks. And I think that's what makes it even tougher. So in that sense, you know, I wish, okay, we could rewind back time and go back to the time when, you know, MySpace days and CDs sold more. But I don't think we would have the opportunity that we have, like, now back in the day, because back in the day, like, it was really, really hard for, you know, people of different ethnicities to be able to jump into the music market or entertainment in general. And with so many other, you know, multi-ethnic people, you know, jumping on the scene, it makes it easier for us to do what we do. So it's like, you know, there's positives and negatives to it.
And everybody's taking photos of everything that you do. I mean, just every day. Oh, I ate this hamburger. 20 minutes later, oh, I threw this hamburger up. It was nasty. Oh. And then you move on. Yeah, it's like, it's the truth. And I'm stopped at a red light. Oh, what do I do? I mean, I don't get it.
I do feel like social media has caused a giant loss of individualism. I feel like people live for approval now, more than to do what they want to do, more than living for own identity. Like, it feels like there's more people that are lost these days. Like, when I can't go through social media without seeing, like, what to me looks like a bunch of insecure people, like, waiting for validation. And it just kind of, it breaks my heart because I feel like it wasn't like that back in the day. And I don't want to sound like an old fogey, like, you know, back in my day, like, but I don't know. I just feel like there are people that are using it for positivity, using that to spread positivity, but there are also a lot of people enabling things that shouldn't be enabled.
I agree with that 1,000% with you.
Cool.
Back in my day, I used to walk to school in the snow up to my hips. Back in the day. Oh, wait. What does Fyke bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now?
Whoa. I feel like everything's been done. I think we just have a perfect mix of everything, so it works.
Support-wise, guys, is there a country or a location that stands out more or even surprises you guys get support from that location?
Actually, every location that supports us surprises us right now.
Yeah, we've sent merchandise all the way over to Germany, Italy, France, and
Brazil, New Zealand. Like, it's weird. Like even people that buy stuff in Los Angeles surprises me. Yeah. We're here. Like, Los Angeles like this? All right.
That's cool. That's cool though that you're branching out and other people are hearing you in different countries though. That's the cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to generalize and say that New Zealand likes us. That one guy bought the T-shirt that one time.
What made each of you want to become a musician? What was that spark that said, yeah, that's what I want to do?
Oh, for me, it's watching that Linkin Park Live in Texas DVD.
Oh, wow.
I used to watch that and put on a guitar and just rock out by myself in the living room.
He still does that, by the way.
I still do that, yeah. But, you know, it's crazy because, you know, now when we go up on stage and, we try to encourage people, but, hearing Chester, rest in peace, saying one day you can be up on the stage with us, that really inspired me. And that's what really made me want to play music for a living.
For me, like my parents are both musicians. My mom was a piano teacher and my father sang opera. And my parents, they started classically training me and my sister at a really young age. And I think they wanted me to become a professional violinist. And I think it's because of my rebellion that I was like, no, I'm going to play the hardest rock and roll out there. But truthfully, like, my parents were musicians, so they introduced us to a lot of people doing really innovative things. And I remember like them introducing me to someone that was, programming a bunch of synth stuff. And then my mom used to work at Yamaha Music School, and over there they had a guitar teacher, and I used to watch him teaching guitar and just being, mesmerized by it. And I just knew at that point, like, and when I first heard Guns N' Roses, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you just knew that that's what you wanted to do. And I was stupid enough to follow the dream. That's all.
When I was like 10 at first,
which was
last
5
year,
years ago.
Which was like last year. My parents were actually, they bought like an electronic drum kit, and it wasn't intended for me, but they didn't tell me that. So I just pretty much like, I played on it, and then, I started like really loving drums. I used to play for the church. And then I just started liking like harder rock music. And then honestly, like I couldn't let go of the dream. Like I really loved it a lot. And it sucks because like it's pretty hard to make a living out of the dream, but we're here right now.
Yeah, when you chase after something, and that's what Awake is about. You chase after this dream, and then it's too late. You can't turn back because you didn't get any other life skills.
Yeah. I know how that goes. I know exactly how that goes. I'm kicking myself every day for dropping out of college. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Mine, I don't have as profound of a story. None of my family played any music whatsoever, but I watched this movie, and they were playing guitar. It was a band there called the Wild Stallions. Excellent adventure. And they never got good in that movie, but then I watched a second one, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and they played this one Kiss song at the end, and it's pretty amazing. And I begged my parents to buy me a guitar after I watched that second movie.
Folks, Fyke's new album is out right now, Nightmares. You want to get it, check it out. These guys are pretty awesome. How can folks stay in touch with you guys, buy some merchandise, buy this album? How can they do that?
You can travel over to our Instagram, which is Fyke Music. You can also visit the website, which has all of our links, and that's just our official website, which links out everything we have, and that's FykeMusic.com.
Before I let you go, would you care to do a promo for the show?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
This is Fyke, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Hey, everybody, stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.